when I feel like nothing. Always feel like I'm running. Both feel we're living worlds apart. It's fucked now, we lost in limbo. Remembering what you said though, when I asked you if we'd make it far. That one last kiss that they write about, my one last wish you could never doubt. I trust angels who fly away from you, and you told me that we'd never die. Gave me so many reasons why we were meant to be. Then she said no, 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 no. No, 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 you should. I've earned the cost and now I've paid it. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, please don't go. I know my face a memory erasing. Been a few years since I heard your voice, yeah. Lost a few here, but it's not by choice, no. Girl, I see your face every day when I look through my phone. Can't delete all these memories, won't leave me alone. Hit my blind side, never saw it coming. You were so wild, but no, I was nothing. And I'm nothing now, nothing's changed. You know I'm just the same. Miss you now, but I hope that someday you explain. That one last kiss that they write about, my one last wish you could never doubt. Trust angels who fly away from you, and you told me that we'd never die. Gave me so many reasons why we were meant to be.
Good morning. Good morning. How is everyone doing today? Let me know you can hear me and see me. How's everyone doing? Good to see you. Pebbles, first in the house today, followed by our head mod ICU, Annabelle. Good to see you. Mama Boss, Misty, Karen, Angie, Misunderstood, Angel Talks Too Fast, Flipper, Still Waters, Karen, Hermit. Good to see everyone as everyone files in. How's everyone doing today? All clear? Okay, good. Make sure we can. So, hold on, let me turn that thing off. Hope everyone had a good weekend. Good morning, Ricky. Good to see you. 50 Shades. Hello, darling. Celeste, Melissa, Karen, Flipper. Good morning, good morning. So, I was thinking, I want to talk about some stuff, but I was thinking last night about Hawkins County TBI, because I was thinking on other cases pertaining to for instance, the Idaho 4, also Leilani, the case in Leilani. You know, we were thinking about, no, we're not at Walmart today, sweetie, not at Walmart. You know, we didn't know what they had, right? They had searched a lot. You know, they had been following Brian around for weeks. And a lot of times it takes a long time. You know, the saying, the wheels of justice turn slow. And also in the Summer Wells case, there's 3 other kids involved. So, you know, there may be some tie-ups before they make an arrest. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So maybe we are being too critical on Hawkins County. Pat Gaines, thank you so much, my love. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, my love. Very kind of you. Thank you so much. So, what is your thoughts on that? Do you think we are being too critical on Hawkins County? Um, Leilani, like they were searching. Uh, we didn't. I still think she should have been arrested sooner, but nonetheless, they were waiting to get Quentin Simon and all that. But when it comes to the Idaho Four, they they knew Brian. They knew who the person was for over a month, and they were following around. Maybe they know who did this to. I guarantee you that the TBI knows the F or not TBI, the TBI, FBI, and of course Hawkins County knows a lot more than any of us YouTubers. Let's just say that. Tomorrow's your birthday, Pat. Oh, happy birthday, love. Hope it's a beautiful one for you. Teddy says, in my opinion, we're not being too critical. Summer deserves justice. Listen, I Teddy, I completely understand what you're saying, and I agree. She deserves justice. She deserves justice. But what I'm saying is, what if Hawkins County's hands are tied right now? What if they, let's say, for instance, Don and Candace did this, like they know Don and let's just say they know Don and Candace did this. What if, because of the boys, action can't be taken or isn't being taken, and plus they haven't found Summer yet, right? So is it is that okay? Do you know what I mean? Is it okay? They could go ahead, if they know a lot more, they could just go ahead and arrest whoever did this, right? I personally believe the parents know more. But do I want them arrested when A, B, and C hasn't been caught up with yet, and it wouldn't be a strong enough of a case? You understand what I'm saying? You get what I mean? So, a lot of times these things take time. Like, it's so frustrating. We all want Summer found. Look at that. And Gannon. How long has it been for Gannon now? How long has it been for Gannon? It's been a minute, right? It's been a good minute. Some of there's, how long has it been for, I'm, this time change is killing me, guys. I'm sorry, I can't think right now. The, the little girl up in Boston, is it Harmony Montgomery? Is it Harmony? I think it's Harmony. I didn't really cover her case that much. Oh, yay. Pat, thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships. You are so kind, my love. You've been so kind to me. Thank you so much. That's very sweet. Very, very sweet. So, I don't know. I was just really kind of torn last night. I was like, maybe I'm being too critical. Like, I feel like, but what I feel and what I know are two different things, right? I feel like, well, maybe should be harder on Don and Candace, right? But I don't know exactly how many times they've went in, how many times they've talked, or if they even need them to talk a lot right now. Maybe they already know. Maybe they already know who did it. And they're just like, you know what? We'll see you a little bit down the road. Melissa, I am 2 hours. I'm in Eastern time. 2 hours ahead, I think it is. Oh, Mr. J. Quinn, I'm sorry. The flu's bad. I was listening to Candace last night. She was sober and acting like nothing happened. Well, we're gonna Pipeg, we're gonna talk about that later this evening. The seniors have been battling over on a couple other channels, and we're gonna talk about that tonight once I get home and get everything together and all of that. They really need to interrogate her really good by herself, not with Don. I mean, I feel the same way, but I'm like, maybe they have. Maybe they're just waiting to find Summer. I mean, we just don't know. RL's the only thing. Flipper, I understand there's been, and I'll be the first to tell you, I'm not the biggest fan of Ronnie Lawson. You know what I mean? But I do believe that I have to believe in my heart that they want this case solved just as bad as everyone else. Because not only do they want this, they want to find justice for Summer, but they want all of us off their backs. Can you imagine? You know how so many of these YouTubers are calling and, doing all kinds of stuff. My only thing is, why no grand jury? There was talk about it a while back, but nothing since. Well, sometimes they have secret grand juries, right? It happens, right? I have some thoughts. She made a comment not too long ago about we will be surprised when the truth comes out. Yeah. Well, and as they said in the very beginning, this case is outside the norm. That a grand jury in April. Yes. I think there is another grand jury coming up in April. I think you're right. But there are cops that are mops. Yeah, yeah, there is. Um, Now, personally, I always have believed that the parents know more, or the grandparent. What Grandis, Don, or Candace, they know more. And I feel like they could be out. Listen, Don and Candace, y'all have all the time in the world right now. You have literally all the time in the world. You don't have kids, you don't have jobs, you don't have, you got all the time in the world. right? Why are you not being more proactive in searching for Summer? Let me show you something. The other night on Daisy's, I actually made a short about it. Hold on, let me find it. 1 second. I made a short the other day. Wrong one.
He didn't take the opportunity to mention
He
Summer.
just left, y'all.
Who did, Don?
Yeah.
Why?
I can't answer that.
Oh. Well, you can sit here and talk with us, Miss Candace. Hey,
It's
Laura
okay.
Jean. Are you sure you're okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
It's okay, Southern girl.
Hey,
I said that before
Matthew.
I left.
He'll be alright.
He didn't take the opportunity to mention
He
Summer.
just left, y'all.
So right there, she's saying Donnie just left y'all. And before that, you could hear a bunch of people crying, like screaming in the back, rather. You could hear Don screaming in the back. He kept yelling in the back, right? And after he yelled in the back, you could hear him like on the phone. Yap, 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 yap. After that happened, Candace says, Donnie just left y'all. And when he left, Daisy said, where's he going, or something like that. And she's like, I can't tell you where. I find it curious that Grandis is back on the hill after all this. There is a reason why, in my opinion. I agree, Scorpio. Now, where was Don going that late at night? He doesn't have a job. He does not have a job at all. Candace doesn't have a job. I think so, Karen. I think he's on a bender. I actually think he's on a bender. And yes, we do, Dynamite. Yes, we do. Amen. Booze run, perhaps. But I think it's more of this, what Kathy said, or a woman run or whatever. But she's like, I can't tell you. Now, if she, when Candace said, I can't tell you, to me, that says enough right there. It says enough right there. Because we know Donnie goes out late at night, right? And this is the thing. Nothing changes if nothing changes. Yes, it does, Gypsy Soul. Yes, it does. Hold on. I'm getting something. So, has Don and Candace worked on anything with their reunification plan to get the kids back? I haven't heard them talk about anything. Maybe I'm wrong, but until you meet the requirements of the reunification plan and you have a certain amount of time to do it, we are coming up on 2 years. And if you haven't met those plans, hate your luck. You're not getting your kids back. For the children not to go back ever, they would have not filled their reunification program fulfillment, which means they have not got their lives together. I'm reading some notes that my CPS friend was telling me. So Candace, tried to go to rehab according to her friend, who she just started a channel here on YouTube recently, and she made it one day. They said that Candace hasn't drank up until she got back with Donnie, and then after she's got with Donnie, she doesn't know because she's not in contact with Candace anymore. They aren't even allowed to visit on the phone. That says something. Yes, it does say something, Annabelle. It says that, in my opinion, they're not good people. Are they required to tell YouTube what they've worked on, or just CPS? They're not required to tell anybody. Candace going on lives, it makes no sense. And why are the lives not trying to get? Well, good question. Good question. The house looks better on the outside from what I could see, which wasn't much. Couldn't get up the hill. Oh, that's right, 50. You was just there. Thank you for sending me those pictures, too. I appreciate it. Did a panda appear in the last few days on Andrew Hiltz? I hope not. If she was clean, why go back down the rabbit hole? One word, Dawn. Dawn. Possibly Gypsy Soul. The DA said complicated by the players involved. Players involved. Who are the players? My opinion, it's Dawn, Candace, and Grandis. Implications of crimes that can't be defined yet. Dawn could make anyone fall off the wagon. Yep. I think Candace would have done much better if she would have been away from Dawn. Yes. I think it's just a toxicity between the two. It is Stillwater's. It is. It's always, when it comes to Dawn and Candace, it's always, I can't remember, I don't know, I'm not sure. People wanting to find the real suspect are not going to say day in and day out. They think it's always, I can't remember, I don't know. And you see people like Little Monkey Vaughn's parents standing side by side with the police. And you can't even get these parents to pick up and call, much less stand beside of them. in my opinion, they've never really searched for her. So that shows me from the very beginning something was wrong or even different in this case and other missing cases. I would be out every minute of the day. Yeah. When the panda appears, it's called kitten in a box. It means a child is ready for the. Creeps me out. Didn't the judge told them to stay off YouTube? I don't know. I would think the judge would have told him that. Supposedly, yes. That's what I've heard. She used her 401k. Look at this. What ICU found earlier. Let me find it. This is from 2003. Man killed, other wounded in Beach Creek shootout. Rogersville. Multiple shots that were fired outside a residence in Beach Creek community of Hawkins County on Sunday night resulted in the death of a Rogersville man and injured to 4 other people. Hawkins County Sheriff Warren Rimmer, I guess that was the person in 2003, the man who died as Roy Jack Dykes, 64 years old, 4170 Beach Creek Road. The Beach Creek community is located north of Baileyton in East Hawkins County, not far from Hawkins County, Greene County line. They live almost like on the border, really. Dykes, who said to have numerous gunshot wounds to the chest, was transported by Churchill Emergency Medical Services to Wellington Holston Valley Medical Center in Kingsport, was pronounced dead Sunday night. There's 3 shootings. Victims were listed as stable condition on Tuesday, and another had been treated and released, according to Sheriff Rimmer. Among the wounded were Roy Jack Dykes' son, Bob Dykes, who suffered 2 gunshot wounds to the neck on Sunday. Bob Dykes was flown by Wing Air Rescue Helicopter to the Wellmont Holston Valley Medical Center for treatment on Sunday night. Another Dykes related, Stanley Dykes, was hit by 3 gunshots, including 1 on the right leg, 1 on the left leg, and 1 in the right thumb, according to Hawkins County authorities. Another victim, who was identified as Richard Davis, reportedly had several gunshot pellet wounds in both legs, 1 in the chest. His wife, Jeanette Davis, was also wounded in the hail of gunfire Sunday night at the Davis residence on Ben Hill Road. Mr. Davis apparently suffered 1 gunshot wound to the upper right chest area, officers said. Sheriff Rimmer, who arrived at Richard Davis' residence on Sunday night, along with several of his deputies and detectives, stated, "We are in the early stages of the investigation." Witness statement: Corporal Chad L. Gillenwater and Sergeant Tony Allen were the first officers to arrive at the scene, according to the sheriff. Gillenwater said, "I spoke with Bobby Dykes, a passenger in a silver Chevrolet Cavalier, who was able to speak briefly with me. He stated that his father and Stanley Dykes had gone home of Richard and Jeanette Davis on Ben Hill Road. Dykes was only able to tell me that there were several shots fired for numerous types of firearms by numerous people." Deputy Gillenwater told the Rogersville Review that Dykes told investigating officers that his father, Roy Jack Dykes, and Richard Davis were shooting at each other. After the shooting ended, Gillenwater said Dykes told officers he slid over into the driver's seat with his decedent father and drove from the scene to Dykes' residence on Beach Creek Road. While officers were responding to the call on the Dykes residence, they received information that Richard Davis and his wife Jeanette were both at the hospital, Wellmont Holston Valley Medical Center, seeking treatment for gunshot wounds, according to the Hawkins County Sheriff's Department news release. Davis allegedly told Deputy Sheriff Gillenwater that three men, Roy Jack Davis, Bob Dykes, and Stanley Dykes, had come to his home and an argument had begun. Deputy Gillenwater told the Review Davis said a physical altercation took place between Stanley Dykes and a guest at his home who could only be identified as Michael. The guest was later identified as Michael Ruth, according to Sheriff Detective Alan Kidd. Davis stated he then fired a .32 caliber pistol in the air in the attempt to get Stanley Davis off the guest, but Roy Dykes began firing a pistol, and one shot struck his wife Jeanette on the upper chest, Corporal Gillenwater said. Davis also allegedly told authorities that he saw Stanley Dykes get what appeared to be a shotgun from the car, and Dykes began shooting at the direction of his wife and himself. Davis stated once he learned his wife had been shot with a 12-gauge shotgun from his home, he began firing toward all three of the men who were also still firing shots. Sheriff's Department indicated that Stanley Dykes left on foot of the scene, but approximately 2 hours later, he came to Wellmont Houston Valley Medical Center for his treatment of his wounds. On Tuesday, Detective Kidd said no charges had been placed, and it is not known what the initial argument was about. So they've been shooting up at this holler forever. Oh. Couldn't pay to go where I think it's done text. I think there was a burner phone too. Didn't they get phones right after they got their phones back? And I will never ever believe that Don Wells, Candace's, and Grandis's phone were all deleted after 3 o'clock. Hey Flo, how's my Auntie Flo? I'll never believe it. Ever. Yep. I think it was just the next day or something. Wow. Yeah. You can. And supposedly Hunter hasn't ever got his phone back. No. Don said magically from 3 onward, all of their phones were deleted. It doesn't delete anything. It just copies. Morning, Lip Lock. it just copies exactly what was down. Lip lock, how's your hubby? Fred Light said she was sacrificed up there with a weird story. I don't know about that. I mean, I know he said that, but um, if you guys haven't checked out the lab with Chris McDonough, they were talking about, I think it's called Celebrite, something like that. That's where they transfer the data, and he goes into that really much more deeply than I can. It's the burner phone. She was hiding in the woods. She was scared police when didn't they keep? Yes, they kept H's phone. He's supposedly never got it back. I think Dudley was fired when he was for a reason, so that they could verify what. I agree. I agree. I think it was definitely. Hey, Black Queen, how you doing, baby? They're going to have the digital footprints of the day Summer went missing. Anybody who went up in that holler with a cell phone, if it was turned on, and probably they're going to check phones that was turned off and then popped up live in that area at another time. I really believe someone around there knows about Summer's whereabouts, wonder how long they will stay silent. Well, listen, I'll just say this. I've been to Ben Hill Road a couple times. And if you have been to Ben Hill Road, you know that it is not possible, in my opinion, to know someone lives up on that hill. Okay, you remember you remember the Murdoch trial whenever they said, oh, it was someone that just had to know Maggie and Paul was out at the kennels between just a few minutes of time whenever you weren't gone, or whenever you were gone, and happened to take the same road that you were driving around the same time that Maggie and Paul were killed. You were basically right behind them. Coincidences don't happen in crime. They don't happen. You never accept a coincidence. So it kind of is the same with Don and Candace. So this person knew you lived up on a hill, knew Don was allegedly at work that day, knew that 3 boys were home all day alone, and you didn't take them within a 2-minute period of time, which is complete bullshit, my eyes, was up in that hill or was in that bedroom and ran down, just happened to miss you as you was going out, he was coming in, and you just wanted to know exactly where Summer was when you walked in that door. And as you're walking in, they're going out of the house, going down the hill, have to have some mode of transportation, whether it's a car, a truck, a tractor, a four-wheeler. I mean, make it make sense, people. Candace was outside when Summer was abducted. She was there changing her mom's knee brace. Exactly. You can't make it make sense because it's preposterous. Donwell's told Dudley about Jose and that Donwell lied. If Don works sun up to sundown, as he says, why did he call Candace Wells when they were at the pharmacy asking when they're coming home? He's a grown man, don't need to have him. That's exactly right. I have yet to hear a source. It's just something the community has always said, oh yeah, well, he's got witnesses, he was there that day. Tell me if I'm wrong. Have you heard anyone directly from an interview, talk to them or whatever? Have you heard his boss say, I can promise you he was here from this time to this time? Have you heard law enforcement say he was at work from this time to this time? I haven't. Yes, and only Don Wells says so. And Don Wells is a criminal. Don't believe criminals. Ever. Exactly. No. So I think we should not take Don Wells' account just because he says he was at work. Say, no, I don't believe you. Because he hasn't proved it that he was at work. And I will not believe that he was at work for nothing. He's not going to tell the truth. The sad thing is that he could have hit her with an evil person. Unfortunately, I believe that Summer is no longer here. I hope I'm wrong. But, and also, even though time has been passing, if we don't know that she is alive and she is missing, she stays 5 forever until she is found. So even though technically if she was here, she would be 7. But because we can't find her, she is technically 5 years old. She no longer ages until she is found alive or she's 5 forever. Don said in the early on that he left and went to the Dollar General and got a bunch of crap to eat for lunch. Really? I have not heard that, but I did hear that Candace cooked lunch or made lunch for them all when they got back. Um, he did say that he had lunch somewhere. Yes, he did say he had lunch somewhere, but where? Half truths. Well, could have been whipping something up in the microwave. But Forever 5. That's exactly right. Don said he left work and went to the dollar store and bought a bunch of junk food. Do you know where he said that at? Does anyone know? And that night, she calls Hunter and Allie while the police are outside and talks to Hunter and Allie. Why? Dollar store gives you a receipt. Yeah, and there's cameras on there as well. Now, I've been to that dollar store that they go to all the time. And we asked them, it was like, do you know Candace Wells? And they were like, yeah, they come in here sometimes. It wasn't like they knew them, but it was just more like a casual thing, given that that's probably the only place they go. What did he say, Mary T? If Summer died and the cadaver dogs would have. Yeah. Now, Candace did say that day that Summer did not feel good. The police dash cam footage changes timeline. I think they had several hours that is unaccounted for, in my opinion. Several hours. Remember, this case is outside the norm. Yeah, Robin, I think they're talking about the one that's it's close to a gas. It's like there's a Dollar General and I think a Family Dollar, and then there's a bridge, and then there's a gas station. Let's sit down. Search for Summer. That's true, Pigs in a Pod. That's true. Several hours. I think an accident happened at that property, and then they took her down, in my opinion, my theory. This is not a fact. Just telling you my theory. An accident happened, and then they took her down to the building, the shed. To get her out of the kids' sight and everyone's, so they wouldn't know a lot. And Chris said something the other day that was interesting. Just like I was talking about, do we know Dawn was at work? We don't know Dawn was at work. We don't know how, if he was at work, how long he was at work. Just because Dawn says it doesn't make it so. Do we know? Is there evidence that Summer went into the basement? No, there's no evidence of that. Or the house. There's no evidence of that. Just because Candace says it doesn't make it so. Because a lot of people say that Summer was outside swinging. And I know Summer liked her swinging stuff, but is that kind of the last good memory they have of Summer, Dawn and Candace and all of them, that she was swinging and then something happened? Yes, that's exactly right, Liplock. We only have Candace's word for it. And who I mean, they lie. They're criminals. Regardless of whether, Don and Candace, unrelated, before this happened, they were still liars and criminals. They just were. Particularly Don. The card team, which I talked about this the other day, I did a presentation on it. The card team solves 90% of its cases. 90% of its cases. That is because it is usually family related, an abduction. Family related. Most abductions are parents or family members. That's why the rate is so high. The card team is a very specialized branch of the FBI for kids. It's a very small, specialized entity. And they say no signs of abduction. Yes, I'm getting to that. I see you. No evidence of abduction. Once they were there for a few days, they couldn't really help them. So after you have the 90% solvability rate, you have less than a 1% chance of a stranger abduction. And then on somewhere in Hawkins County, on Ben Hill Road, on top of a hill that you don't know what is up there. You can't see it in June. Yeah, I don't believe the planner story either. Just saying, PG and oh, honey, I was watching it last night. I'm gonna do a live. We're gonna do a live this evening. It's the girls want to battle, the seniors want to battle with each other. I'm like, okay, honey, let's get it. Prayer Garden, she is just blessing people to death and cussing and carrying on, and they're all fighting over there. I'll be live at 5 o'clock this evening. Yeah, that's why I can't understand why anyone can be for the Wells, then or not for summer. I myself for summer. Yeah, that's exactly right. And not to mention, it is a high risk. Yes. The seniors want to battle, Liplock. The seniors want to battle. Welcome to the Sandan. Thank you, Lord. You are much too classy for that, my love, Liplock. Much too classy for that. You got enough to worry about right now, anyways. It's just funny. Battle. Seniors want to battle. But getting back to it. Do you know how high risk it would be for a stranger to come up there with multiple adults around, multiple kids around, and take someone that is literally feet away from you? Like, seriously. Yes. I got my brown wig in. That's the thing, Mary T. Like, that's what I was talking about earlier. Maybe they know. But maybe because of the boys' situation, they're not acting upon any arrest or anything until this is over. Rob and I agree. Like, seriously, that's a habit. Like, seriously. It's seriously a habit. Yeah, and kids were home all day. Exactly. Did say the boys' case bleeds over. Yeah. Yeah. It has to bleed over. It has to bleed over. Like, I'll be the first to tell you, I am not a Ronnie Lawson fan. Okay? But maybe we're being when it is that court case. Daisy, you raised your grandson? It's nice. And I don't know. I believe Hunter when he says this. Why would Don say someone was up on the hill touching little kids? It's in May, isn't it? Yeah, Daisy's not actually that old. Daisy's like in her 40s. Come on, Cletus, come on. Well, hello, sinners. Um, and did Don even know that? Yeah, and how did Don know that if he wasn't home? The best witnesses are the boys to all that went on in that house, in my opinion. We are waiting because, listen, I have talked to people that had Candace's previous children, like talked, and I've told them that I would never tell what they have told me, but I will say that Summer and the boys probably had a better life than her past kids, believe it or not. JD, yeah. H is not the sweet kid we all think he is. You know, April, like I hear you and I understand what you're saying, but that kid had no guidance. I mean, look at his parents. His parents are Allie and Andrew. Neither one of them guided them in any way, form, or fashion. They can't even guide their own self. Yep. Yep. Yeah, we sent the other Grandma said, yeah, we watched overhead praying to God that they wouldn't take them too. The fuck? What? Listen, if I thought my kid was abducted, you think I'm going to let my other kids just go down the road? I'm going down. How about that? How about that? How about that? How about that? Okay. Okay. That's what I'm going to do. Bingo. Clock the house. I'm not going to let my other kids just, go. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Take them all. Go ahead. Yeah. No. Nope. Not going to happen. I will send you to Jesus. How about that? Yeah, I mean, who in their right minds is going to send, hey, Trev? I didn't see Trevor in here. If you think someone sold your bike, you probably aren't putting 3 bikes out. Exactly. Exactly, Trev. So, um, so to me, Don's been out. He's been out a few months now, right? He's getting back in his old ways. And this time, we're not actually seeing a very religious Don. I thought he would get out and, be painting that woman that he follows in, what is that woman's name that he follows? Al something. Aline. Is it Aline or something like that? We got a new member. Thank you, my love. Welcome to the Justin for All family. Say hello to your brothers and sisters. Thank you so much. No, honey, I'm a Jezebel. I'm a Jezebel. They had their pocket knives with them like it's stealing. Where was that thing? Guys, get this. And this has me, it's not a good thing either. And it happened in Tennessee. DCS employee fired, arrested for soliciting sex from a minor. Did y'all see this? Yes, we need DNA on your thumb. We need DNA on the thumb. Hello, Smiley. Hello, Smiley, my old friend. Now, DCS employee arrested. Strange note left under underage girl's car. Police launched undercover operation. Arrested in undisclosed place in Jacksonville. Jackson, Tennessee, which I don't know where Jackson, Tennessee is. Boulevard, Tennessee. And they are everywhere, you're right. A former employee with the Tennessee Department of Children's Services was arrested in Madison County this week for an alleged attempt to meet with underage girls for sex after leaving a note on her vehicle. Christopher Baker, 50, is charged with solicitation of a minor after he was arrested during an undercover operation spearheaded by the Jackson Police Department, according to a statement shared by the Boulevard Police Department, which assisted Jackson police investigators in the arrest. A juvenile female reportedly found a strange note on her vehicle at a local business in Boulevard on March 2nd, which led to the child and her parents filling a report with the police department. The Boulevard Police Department began its investigation after this report. The Boulevard Police contacted the Jackson Police Department Internet Crime Against Children's Task Force for assistance in the case. On March 7th, Baker met with a person he thought was an underage girl with the intention of having sex with her at an undisclosed location in Jackson, Tennessee. He tried to meet up. It's like Catch a Predator. You know, one of those shows? He tried to meet up with this girl, a DCS employee, former employee now. He was identified as an employee of the DCS and Boulevard Police Department statement. DCS says Baker will no longer serve as an employee with the department after an internal investigation found gross misconduct. Baker will not be eligible for state retirement, but will be able to appeal his termination. DCS says Baker served as an administrative team leader with the Office of Child Safety. No additional details will be released in this case while the investigation is ongoing. Anyone with information of this case involving child exploitation should call Sergeant Aubrey Richardson with the Tennessee Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force, area code 731-467-6385, 731-467-6385. That's crazy. That's crazy. Guys, as parents, as grandparents, as individuals, we have to be very mindful about who is with our children, whether it is, anyone that has a job around children, like, or your priest, teachers, anything like that, coaches especially, right? Because a lot of predators are attracted to these jobs, right? They're attracted to these jobs. So, because, does anyone know the story of Candies and Dons? What do you mean, my love? Trust the no one. Yeah, you just have to be very careful in circumstances like this, because, is this why he followed this kind of career? Guys, got a question. Was Candace staying in Virginia Beach? Can someone answer that for me? Exactly. That's what I'm saying, Smiley. Because they get these jobs because they're freaking perverts, a lot of them. Listen to this. What do you think about this? Dad uses moose antler and a shovel to kill sex offender who allegedly stalked young child at daycare. Do you think he should be held accountable? You think he should go to jail? Or do you think a Minnesota man allegedly confessed to beating a convicted sex offender to death with a shovel because of concerns that the victim was stalking his younger daughter? Just before 5 p.m. Wednesday, the Cook County Sheriff's Office in northern Minnesota received a 911 call from someone who said they saw a person smash into a vehicle in the driveway of 77-year-old Lawrence V. Scully, who and then entered the man's home in the city of Grand Race. I think it's different. The caller reported hearing screaming, and about a minute later told a dispatch that the subject appeared to be driving on the local police station about 3 blocks away. Authorities say the individual was 27-year-old Levi Extel, who then walked into the police station covered in blood and confessed to striking Scully up to 20 times with a shovel before he finished him with a moose antler. Wonder where that went. According to court records obtained by WTIP. Axtell is said to have told police that he was concerned Scully, a S offender who was found guilty of molesting a 6-year-old girl in 1979, was stalking his young daughter at a daycare facility. All right. I know you got thoughts. Let me see them. Okay. I mean, there's a reason why we have the SEX offender registry, and that is because these people cannot be rehabilitated. Which I never heard before. How many daughters does Don have? Don Wells? 2, I believe. I think he has 2, I'm pretty sure. Peas in a pod. Why does it not let me select it? Okay. As a judge, I would have sentenced community service travel around telling what RSOs what he accomplished. How about that? Yeah. Tell your buddy he's going to get an antler up his ass if he. No, he shouldn't get any time, in my opinion, be protective. Yeah. I mean, this guy had to know, like, it was stalking his daughter. You know what I mean? Because you don't just if a person looks at you, and then you never see them again, I don't consider that stalking. Stalking is something that happens numerous times. Really? ICU says he already had a protection order and the guy kept coming back. Well, then F him. Sorry, Charlie. God, it's snowing here. Hopefully he'll just get community service or something. It's possible a YouTuber, Bananas Angels, told the story when Summer came up missing. They have the highest revictimization. Yes, that is exactly right, Kelly. Yep, they can. That is why we have the SEX offender registry, because they cannot be rehabilitated. And they have the highest revictim. Yes. That's right. And they always have a type as well. That's the thing. It's bad to be an SEX offender if your victim is an adult, but can you, like, the kids, man, that's where it really pisses me off. Uh-oh, Robin. It's snowing here. It's coming your way. What interview you talking about, April? So we have DCS, who in Tennessee they did a sting on him. He left a note on a miner's car. And then we have this guy who, in my opinion, is a hero, killed a RSO because they had a restraining order, but he kept, I guess, ignoring it. Another thing is, get this, guys. Child sex abuse content is exploding online. We're losing the fight against it. Ricky, I hope you're right, buddy. I hope you're right. Yeah, you're probably right, Kelly. Ricky, that's one time I hope I'm wrong. The mayor of College Park, Maryland, was arrested and charged last week with 56 counts of possession and distribution of child you-know-what. Authorities say he uploaded a variety of images depicting child abuse on social media. A lot of people don't know this, but it is actually more of a criminal charge to upload those things than it is to download those things, because you are contributing to this, right? So now we have mayors, DHS, that are RSOs. College Park, Maryland, the mayor of College Park, Maryland. He's not the only alleged P on the headlines recently. Consider Andrew Tate, the social media influencer arrested in December on charges of human and RAP. The self-proclaimed misogynist operated an online webcam business that sexuality women. He has repeatedly used the internet to encourage violence against women, brainwashing young men and teen boys into a culture of hate. The amount of child abuse material online has skyrocketed in the past 5 years, aided by the smartphones and the COVID-19 pandemic. According to the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children, monthly reports of such materials doubled from 1 million in March of 2019 to 2 million a year later. Increase of an additional 35% from 2020 to 2021. Think about that. Yes. What interview are we talking about in chat, may I ask? I have no idea. You're right, Mary T. You're right. Don Wells wasn't at work all day. Why would he call Candace Wells and ask when she's coming home? That I agree. Trust me. I agree wholeheartedly. I think he got jealous, in my opinion, that Hunter was with Candace. I just always felt that. And he threw a fit. Say Barbies, thank you so much for that. Listen, when it comes to Daisy, like, she's free to have her own opinion. I mean, I don't call her a demon. She calls me a demon, really. But I like Daisy. I like Daisy a lot, actually. I think, in my opinion, she doesn't know how bad a lot of people are, in my opinion. And I think that she's easily fooled based upon if someone is nice to you or if they show emotion to you. I think she's just a good, yeah, she calls me the devil. I'm the devil, honey. And I just think she's easily manipulated by Dawn and Candace, to be honest with you. But, she has the right to her opinion. I think they're funny as hell to watch. I mean, you have Sherry over there. You can hear, if she's got her camera off, you just hear because they're hitting her bong, her water bong. I'm like, good God. And then you got Daisy over there. Well, hello. Well, thank you for that super chat, Justin. Thank you, honey. Thank you. God bless you, honey. You ain't no demon, honey. That's, you're going to really listen to this stuff out there, Donnie. Yeah, and, I just think that she's not today, Satin. Not today. Trev, who's Satin? I don't know what y'all are talking about. Are you moving Waterboy Miss Daisy in the mom? Is the mom? Yes. I don't see lips. Oh, hey, lips. Why is JLR saying Don was arrested? Why was JLR saying Don was arrested? Who was saying Don was arrested? JLR? What is that? Can I ask at least? The Roga, I would. Okay, y'all got me confused. JLR said it's a rumor that Don got pulled over. Oh. All right, let's all get along in the chat, please. We're adults. We're all adults. Now, I don't know. JLR. He was showing someone else got arrested. Oh. Apparently, Don was pulled over last night in the Subaru. No evidence that he was arrested. Maybe not even pulled over, but someone heard it on the scanner. Interesting. I wonder if it was the night before last, whenever he went out. But says you can have your own opinion. JD. Trust me, you can like the Wells if you listen. I don't get bent out of shape on what anybody wants to believe. If you want to believe Don and Candace are innocent, go for it. Because technically they are in a court of law. Now, over here, we're not a court of law. So, believe what you want. But any of our beliefs are not going to change the outcome of this. It is what the evidence shows. I'm a senior and starting on my second childhood. Soon I'll be back in diapers. Yes, Toaster. You're such a sweetheart, Toaster, by the way. You are such a sweetheart. I got to meet her at the 1 year summer vigil, and she was just the sweetest soul. Don't left mad. I don't know. Don left mad. He double. Yeah. I showed that the other. I made a short of it, like right after it happened, because I was watching Daisy. Let me find it. Here it is. Hold on. That was my other short.
He didn't take the opportunity to mention
He
some.
just left, y'all.
Who did, Don?
Yeah.
Why?
I can't answer that.
Oh. Well, you can sit here and talk with us, Miss Candace. Hey,
It's
Laura
okay.
Jean. Are you sure you're okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
It's okay, Southern girl.
Hey,
I couldn't have been
Matthew.
far left.
He'll be alright.
He didn't take the opportunity to mention
He
some.
just left, y'all.
Who did, Don?
Yeah.
Why?
I have to be honest with you. I felt sorry for Candace there. I actually felt sorry for her there. Because this is what she has dealt with. This lunatic in this picture right here for so long. He has cheated on her, abused her, lied to her. Candace sounded really hyper last night. I don't think Don was at work all day. No, he could have went anywhere. Hey Justin, on Spotify I went from. That's awesome, Ricky. Congratulations. I really think they do all these things to each other. I think they do too. I think they do too. I mean, it's a game. It's a game between them. Absolutely. He was only seen in the AM. He worked alone. The only person that would have known was Dudley, and he was fired the day before. Yeah, Lips, weren't they kind of like their own personal contractor? I think he was at home in the afternoon. I think he was home in the afternoon too, personally. The second show it online, they will delete it. So until I have so many people watching, I'm not telling you. Open chat where it is. Can't you screen record it, April? She thrives on the DVD. They both do. She's an actor. Yeah. He's convenient. Dudley was fired that day before. How convenient. Yeah. It's very convenient. But the thing about it is that would show premeditation, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that show premeditation if he fired Dudley? That would show premeditation. Like this was planned. If you believe that Dudley was fired the day before, it would have to be planned. So that would mean she would, if it was pre-planned, it would mean she either had to be sold or trafficked, or they was planning to harm her. Plan to get rid of Summer. Why? That would mean there would be no accident. When was the last proof of life for Summer? They know that she made it back alive to Ben Hill Road. Hello, Eve. Welcome. I don't know. To be honest with you, I think Candace was extremely jealous of Summer. Extremely jealous of Summer. Yeah, a lot of people said, oh, she may have been taken before June 15th. That is absolutely false. Absolutely false. Child essay on Summer Wells. Summer had no food in all day. She would be fragile. Well, they said she wasn't feeling good that day as well. Remember that? Said she was not feeling good that day. Kelly, you can email me and I will ask around if you're a good person, but I can. Unless for trap time or Justin, I see. I don't know what y'all are talking about. States are emptying out DRUGS users. All tell each other to go to Florida. Yes, guys, if y'all don't mind hitting the thumbs up button. I don't know. Like the Dudley thing, it's convenient. It's very convenient that he was fired the day before. But like, is Dawn and Candace that evil to have pre-planned it? I don't know. Eliza, do you mean who said that he was fired? If you mean who said he was fired, Dudley said he was fired. That was with an interview with, I think, Bullhorn, Betty, and JLR when they were in Hawkins County. Candace left the boys behind. It's so weird. Why leave the boys at home? I mean, they were probably left at home a lot. I mean, Wells attacked Jeannie's first night out of prison. Wells attacked. Beverly, that's when Jeannie went. When Dawn got out of prison, that's when Jeannie ran into her parents' bedroom. Did Eliza write something back? I'm looking. Yeah, Grandis. Grandis said that. Oh, please, he just told me this a few weeks ago. What if Jose, the friend, took Summer and then killed himself later on? No. Guarantee it wasn't Jose. You got to realize Jose was like almost a year later or a year before. Yes. And Jose did not off himself, by the way. Don't forget Grandis. Well, I mean, when you think about it, what's the common denominator of Grandis's daughter going missing and her granddaughter going missing? Grandis. That's the common denominator. Both Don and Candace has acted strangely with playing jokes on people. Who the heck does that with the missing child? September, they believe this is a game. What's a waste of time? Grandis was mean to those kids, apparently. Grandis was mean to the kids, and that's by several accounts. Even Hunter said she was grumpy. And she also one of the kids, I think it was the oldest boy, she particularly was hard on. Yeah. No, I had Jose. Jose died. He did hear. Did y'all hear Grandis the other night when Candace? She was mad, Robin. She was mad the other night. She said she was mad at PG. She was nuts that day too. Yes. She was probably mad because they didn't give her DRUGS at the emergency room. Okay, so you're close. Storm the Capitol. And don't forget what Hunter said. Which part? We heard Grandis in audio on Farm Panel recently. She can be violent too. Absolutely. I think Grandma's got more testosterone than I do. I mean, God. She can wear a blue jean better than I can tell you that. He said he wanted off YouTube soon after started, but Candace said no, the money and gift card pouring in. I haven't heard that. I just threw that out there because yeah, deflection is what they keep trying. Well, they like the more confusion, the better. The more confusion, the better. Did one of Tim Mullen's friends' child receive a transplant no longer after so months? May have, but it's not related. I can tell you that. Fire Dudley, day before, and Don Wells uses CB's nice car for dirty drywalling. I'll tell you what, if you've seen that Subaru recently, oh my God. It's more tore up than Don's ass in prison. I'll just say that. It is bad. It is bad. Don says, watch what you say around your mother to Candace, too, on news channels. Yeah. Grand issues. Oh, really? I agree. 2 children gone missing. The odds of that, Bella, are not much. It's actually not. It's very, very small statistically. Eliza, I agree. She's very questionable at best. At best. But for 2 children or 2 individuals to go missing, specifically, if it was like 50 years apart, that would still be kind of odd. But just a handful of years apart, yeah. Candace and Grandis are both common denominators. There's a reason we call her Mandis. She puts on a wife beater. Was Grandis not supposed to be around kids? Not that I'm aware of. Now, Grandis has a brother who is loco. And isn't he violent? I believe he's violent. But if he's not violent, I'm pretty sure he is. But he's in a home, like a facility. Why is Grandis back in town? I don't know, but they were lying until she started screaming the other day because they said she wasn't there. I felt like she should have kept quiet. She ain't supposed to be there. Her daughter trying to get kids shows what kind of mother she is. Listen. they are not getting those kids back. They haven't fulfilled their duties. CW got a gift card in mail and handed it to Live on Grandis and says that's for... No way. No way, JD. Seriously? Wow. Maybe she just got her script filled and she's down for a little bit visiting. I don't know. I mean, honestly, I think Daisy is, she's just, I think Daisy is easily played, you know, and she wants to believe the best in everybody and stuff, but I don't think she truly knows how people can really be. What's wrong with the Subaru? It is junked. Junked. It looks bad. She wasn't around this supposed to be around. Really? I didn't know that. It is strange that Rose's sister goes missing and then her daughter. I do find that very questionable. It's very odd behavior. He was institutionalized for incest. Ugh. Okay. That's a rumor, movie star, but I don't know. He's out now. They owe $27,000 still on the Subaru. Holy shit! Here's your one chance, fancy. Don't let me down. Daisy busy Metro G to make Candace into Brandy. Whatever happened, apples and oranges. Daisy busy Metro G to make Candace into Brandy. I don't know what that means. Was Summer in foster care in Boone, North Carolina for 3 years before parents got her back. Now she's missing. No, she wasn't. Incestuous bunch they are. Well, they like to keep it in the family, honey. Incest is best, is what they say. Has anyone checked on Grandis's background? Yes. We certainly have. I also heard Grandis wasn't supposed to be around kids too. Violent child and everybody SCP. Can I ask a short recap of what's going on? Last I saw was the Dr. Phil interviews. Today? I didn't play any Dr. Phil interviews today, did I? We're just talking about the case. That's all now. Like I've read what I was reading. I think Grandis isn't allowed around boys. I am sure. I mean, but why wouldn't she? Why wouldn't she be allowed around the kids? Did Rose report essay of a child? That I don't know. And I don't think we'll ever know unless it's a child. You're not going to know. Besides the panda. Don Wells went to jail. What happened before Don Wells went to jail? JD, as in, I mean, Summer was missing before Don went to jail, but he was on probation because he had a gun in his truck, and he was on probation and he got pulled over and he was drunk, which violated his probation, which made him go back to jail. I think there's something wrong. I think there was another job before Summer. Yeah, I think she is, Kelly, to be quite honest with you. I agree. Can someone tell me I heard correctly earlier in this live if Don may have went to jail the other night? Oh, so it is alleged, not a fact at this time, that Don may have been pulled over yesterday. So is Trevor still in here? The entire family should be looking for Summer. Yeah. The Subaru. Did they buy it? It was bought brand spanking new, wasn't it? Justin, a friend of mine ran into Candace's last week at the tobacco store, and the Subaru was beat up, full of pots, pans, fishing poles, and boxes. Perfect. Yeah, I don't think Grandis hit. She's allowed around the kids. Maybe not Rose's kids at one point, but Candace's kids, yeah. Treasures from a dumpster diving. Well, Miss Stacy wants to go dumpster dive. He was released August of 2021. No one found Rose, and no one. I tell you what, the thing about Rose and Summer's case is they're both unsolved, and both are just perplexing. But I think every case is pretty much solvable. You just gotta find the right avenue. That's right. She wasn't around Rose's kids wasn't a legal order, for what I understand, but I just think they didn't want her around the kids because she was always gone, not a steady presence. That makes sense, Eliza. Yeah, I don't think, like I said, I don't think there was any legal reason, whether it was a personal decision. That means it was just a personal decision, but it's not that she wasn't allowed around. She just wasn't welcomed, more or less, if anything. Are the kids homeschooled or are they? I don't know. That's a good question. No, it happened with gift card and pills on live before Don Wells went to jail. Oh, I hate it when my phone dies. After Summer went missing, it was said that Grandis couldn't talk to the boys. I'm sure it was the witness couldn't talk. Oh, well, I mean, that may have been the case. Okay. All right, guys, I'm at 2 hour mark. I'm going to jump off. I got to go do some stuff before I pick up my kids. I'll be live at 5 o'clock this evening, where as the hollow turns, we will be talking about Prayer Garden and true crime, crazy farm lady down on the farm, with a mix of Sherry lady hitting her bong, drinking out of her koozie. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. So be there. Be square. It's going to be lit. We're going to dance it up. I mean, it's really a crap show this week. The seniors are out to battle. You told me this. You told me that. You told me this. Thank you, Alzheimer's Army. Yes, we are the army of summer. Love you all. See you later. What time tonight? 5 o'clock Eastern. It's 1 o'clock Eastern. So 4 more hours. I need to go find me some clip-on earrings, honey. Okay. All right. Love you all.